Hey guys, happy Halloween. I'm so excited. This is my first Halloween tutorial ever. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. This is the start of a very mini series of Halloween tutorials, but I wanted to get my feet wet in doing them. So anyways, I did a kind of take on the Black Swan makeup, but I did a little bit of a spin on it. I didn't maybe do it exactly like the movie, but I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. Couple notes really fast, some things that you didn't see on camera. I went ahead and did my foundation, so I used a Makeup Forever one if you were wondering, and then I did a very heavy contour. And I didn't show that on camera, but I will show you what I used. So all I used is this Tarte brush. It is very densely packed and it has natural bristles. But what that does is it allows you to blend really well with a lot of product packed onto this. And the product that I used in conjunction with this brush is the NYX blotting powder. This is in the shade Deep, and this is what I used for my contours. So that was it. You saw everything else. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I will jump in right now. I'm just using an e.l.f. eyeliner. This is like $1, and it's just a black regular old liner. And the reason I'm going to use this before I go in with liquid or gel or whatever you decide to use is this blends out a little bit easier, so if you make a mistake you can easily kind of blend it out and fix it, versus liquid eyeliner, which is a little bit less mistake proof. So I'm going to just do the general outline to start. So starting at about the bridge of my nose, I'm going to draw up and connect with my brow. Then I'm going to draw through the brow. Okay. And so you can be as messy as you want. And then I'm just going to do a swoop up into the temple. Okay? Then I'm going to take this and go right to the inner corner of my eye. So I'm just going to connect it up into the inner corner, and then you can kind of mess with your shape a little bit. So see, I just made a mistake and I can just kind of blend that away and it's gone. Gonna go underneath my eye. And straight into the temple. Okay? So that's gonna be your shape. You can do the other side. I can show you how to do it just one more time. So you want to make sure that you have the same kind of swoopy action on the same side so it's even. Connect up into the inner corner, under the eye, and straight back. So now generally speaking, I'm going to still use this liner. And this is just gonna map out kind of my details, I guess you could say. And I know that I wanna do one kind of thick black line right along, kind of above my crease, so along my brow bone essentially. I'm gonna just connect that up there. I'm not gonna do it all the way, just a little bit. So I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm gonna start from the bridge of my nose, draw onto that brow bone, and just kind of let it go. You can get as artsy with this as you want. With my liquid liner, I'm going to basically do kind of like a feathering motion. So I'll just show you kind of with the liner. Do something along those lines, okay? And I am going to make my life marginally easier by taking just a kind of a fluffy shader brush and any smoky gray shadow that you have. It would be better if it wasn't super shimmery, but if that's all you have, it's totally fine because we're gonna be adding glitter anyway, so kind of do whatever you want. I'm gonna use, I'm using a lot of NYX products today. This is NYX Dreamcatcher palette in Golden Horizons, and I'm gonna use this kind of gray shade here. And this is just an e.l.f. brush. And I'm going to just apply this onto my lid, kind of up to where I've done this like kind of weird line on my brow bone. And this does not need to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. This just kind of is gonna leave it so that you don't have to fill in every single tiny little detail. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of feather it along the temple. I'm not gonna do it as intensely because this is where I'm gonna be putting the majority of my glitter. So I don't want it to be too dark so that it's just more work for me when I'm putting on the glitter. And again, kind of with the brow area, I'm just gonna use whatever's left on my brush to just deepen that area. And I'll do the same on the other eye and I'll be right back. So I am going to take, I know it's super shocking, I'm gonna take another NYX product. I don't know why there's so much NYX today. Anyways, this is the matte liquid liner. And I've chosen matte just because that's what I have. You can use whatever you have. You can do a gel liner with a brush or a liquid liner. Doesn't really matter. So what I'm gonna do with this, and I hope you guys can see this, I'm going to start out by kind of just doing some light brush strokes. And I'm going to do it kind of around my brow. Just to start out. I'm not doing it in any pattern or anything like that. I'm just kind of deepening the inner corner area. So all along my eye, I'm going to just basically do some lines. And I'm going to connect it up to basically my brow. You basically want it to be like a feather. You can kind of just see what I'm doing here. I'm just feathering, literally feathering out the eyeliner. No pattern really. So starting here, I'm going to kind of just do some swooped wings, and kind of from maybe around here, you can kind of feather it out a little bit more. See how that's kind of coming together now? On the actual eyelid, I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm probably going to do just a few from the actual lash line. Kind of like some stripes. See how that works? And then just feathering them out. Now, this is sort of a creative thing. This isn't exactly how the exact look went, but I kind of want to feather some above the brow. See how that works? So you can kind of make it look like one large feather. So just sort of add a little bit of drama that way as well. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye, and I will be right back. What I found doing kind of both eyes is the easiest way to go about it is to do a ton of very, very thin strokes versus less thick ones. It looks a little bit more feathery when you do it that way. All right, so the glitter that I am using is called, and I'm not making this up, the glitter is called Tinseltown. So yep, that's a thing. And in the kit that I'm using, it comes with the glitter base. It's a liquid glitter base, and then the glitter. All right, let's give this a shot. So I'm gonna basically find little spaces that don't have the eyeliner and just have the shadow, and add some glitter. Okay, a little bit right in here. See how there's space, there's no liquid liner? It's a perfect place for some glitter. If you had a glitter liner, I know Nick sells some, things like that, you could very, very easily simplify this process and just use that. I'll be that girl that overdoes it on the glitter. It's Halloween, right? You can do it. All right, so that's that. That looks pretty cool, right? So I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll show you the rest of the look. So my lip liner is actually black eyeliner. And I'm going to not really overdraw my lips. I'm actually gonna make them kind of like that retro, kind of small style. So a very defined Cupid's bow. And I'm going to use 2 lipsticks, and you don't have to use these 2. I just thought it was fun, so I decided to. They're both really inexpensive though. They're like $1.50, I think. They're the Wet n Wild lipsticks. This is the color Vamp It Up. And then the other shade is called Cherry Bomb, which I have talked about before in videos. So I'm gonna start with the Vamp It Up, and this is gonna go on the outer corner of my lips. So I'm gonna kind of blend it in with the lip, or with the eyeliner. So it'll be like a purple outer lip. Guys, I'm already so obsessed with this. This looks so cool. Okay. So just on the outer corner, and if you really like want it to be like a, what is the word? Like the most saturated that it can be, you can just take it straight from the tube. Okay, and now the Cherry Bomb, and I'm just gonna go straight from the tube on this one. All right, woo, almost just dropped my mirror. Oh. Have a great Halloween, stay safe, have fun, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Have a great day. Bye guys.